Yeah. 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 Mystic Matt turning fives to stacks. Hurricane Beps rolling like tracks. Doubters gonna hate, but the cheddar's fat. UFC nights turning pennies to racks. Spread too wide, Vegas holding the breath. Props to parlays, betting like nothing left. Pull the underdog moves like a chess grandmaster. Break the bank, they'll respect you faster. Cheddar change, Mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange. $5, $10, pocket rocket. Fight night knowledge, stacking ticket. Vegas all shaking, they can pick it. Mystic Matt, every win a ticket. Cash coming in, steady river flow. Count it out, often doubters laying low. Parlay stacked, high pro, gamble show. Mystic's foresight, bets overflow. Cheddar change, Mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange.
And what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon. We've got fights tomorrow. Usually the green lights are on, but I need to charge the batteries. It is what it is. I haven't hit any UFC bets. I need to charge these batteries up a little bit. We've got UFC fights tomorrow. UFC 308, and just like every single UFC fight weekend, I am here on Friday night to give y'all my picks, parlays, break down the fights one last time, all the information that I've learned all week. And because it's a pay-per-view, I got my trusty guy, D Rose, here to help me out and give his reads as well. So without further ado, shout out all of you for stopping by here to hang out with us tonight for Change to Cheddar. There's a few of these I'm not clicking. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't. I'm not going to click it already. Shama family says that. Peggy Sack. Hopefully Fresh Chiba. Going to be a good weekend, boys. We got Ken in here saying, glad I'm finally able to catch this week without work interrupting. That's the opposite for you this week, D Rose. Well, wait, are you going to reply to me, or are you just going to...
I'm sorry. I'm sitting here actually reading the comments. I'm actually sitting here reading the comments with you.
We got Daniel with the LFG. Happy Friday, everyone, says Austin. What's up, boys, says Randy Poppy. Riley, where are you, dirty racist? No, let's not get into that again tonight. No racism, you guys. No racism.
Yeah, I was trying to break up one of them first early comments, and yeah, that's what I was. I was caught up into that, so my apologies on that.
Yeah. Look at this one, D Rose. Rose looking sexy this evening. Look at that. How does that make you feel?
Thank you. Compliments are welcome over this way. So even though I feel like I look like a dirtbag. But
with that being said, how today is going to work, you see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I've got screenshots of all the fights that are taking place tonight. Some shenanigans have happened from weigh-ins, D Rose. Like, we got 2 fights that are no longer at the same weight class that they were originally at. So we'll talk about that. And yeah, before we really get into it, how have you been over the past few days? And do you have any confidence on this card this weekend?
Yeah, no, everything's been great, over the last couple of days. We had a good it's stupid, man. It's the lighting. The lighting always helps. But no, things have been great over here, man. The biggest thing, and I've talked to you about it all week. And really for me, this all roots with Islam Makhachev, right? So the whole reason why Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria are fighting this weekend is because Islam Makhachev could not make the fight against Arman Tsarukyan, and because that was supposed to be the headline fight for this card. Max and Ilia was supposed to headline the Utah card, which just happened, And this fight between Max and Ilya is, I've told you multiple times, it is the most looked forward to fight that I've had on the calendar this year. Bro, you mean to tell me they're going to air this shit at 2 o'clock when I'm going to be at work? Straight bullshit, man. So I'm going to try my best. I'm going to be running somewhere. The problem with sales is I'm a commission worker. So I have to sell a card in order to make money. But man, fuck it. At this point, I just need to be somewhere to where I can watch the main event. I can go back and catch up on the other fights. I'm fine. I cannot miss the main event live, man. So I'm going to do everything I can to try to dip, duck, and dodge so I can make sure I'm locked in for the main event for sure.
D-Rose might have to poop around like 5:30 or something like that.
Yeah, probably had to take about let's say about a 40-minute shit or so. So sounds about
right. Or it might be rather quick, D-Rose. You don't even know. So with that being said, let's get into it. Our picks and predictions, final ones for these fights that happen starting off at 10 a.m. So get your bets in tonight, all of you guys. So we'll jump into the first one, unless you guys are still talking about D-Rose's teeth. All right, so let's get into it. First fight of the night being Rinat Fakhretdinov. I need to get the odds pulled up because, dude, every week I'm just terrible at it. And I tried to put them on the screen, dude, but by the time that I went to save it, the odds were so much different. I'm like, I don't have time to change all of these because I was like letting you know right before we jumped into it. I was at a trunk or treat with my fiance for the past 4 hours. So yeah, I'm kind of beat right now. I didn't have time to do a whole bunch of stuff. So with that being said, here we go. First fight of the night being Rinat the Gladiator Fakhretdinov taking on Carlos Leal Miranda. Or that's what he's called on DraftKings. Over under on this one set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 230, under 2.5 plus 175. The favorite is Rinat Fakhretdinov minus 230, and Carlos Leal Miranda is plus 190, the underdog. Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the week. I believe me and you are both on Rinat Fakhretdinov here. I don't think anything really changed for the most part. Short notice fight for Miranda here, dude. And when I was taking these screenshots, I had the hardest time finding this dude because if you look at him on the right side of your screen, he has a freshly shaved head. But when he weighed in this morning, he had hair and a beard. So I was looking for this dude through my screenshots. I'm like, where the hell is this guy? And apparently he shaved his head. That was the only picture that I had left over that I hadn't used yet. I'm like, this has to be him. So that's him this morning on the left at the bottom, and then on the right, facing off against Rinat Fakhretdinov. But yeah, I am going Rinat Fakhretdinov 3 or decision here. Once again, these gloves just pretty much scare me from betting finishes, and not 100% because I do have a parlay with a few finishes this weekend. But I am on Rinat Fakhretdinov 3 or decision. How about you, D Rose?
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm aligned with this fight. You know, for Carlos Leal or however you say his name, I'm not quite sure. Most of his fights, I think he's only been finished once in his career, and
Yep.
I just had like the snappy fingers stuff. I don't know why I just had that type of era just like stuck in my head just now. But yeah, Carlos Leal, all his fights have gone to decision in terms of his losses, except for one by submission. And the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Unless he ends up getting rocked with a punch with a club and stuff, I don't think Rinat Fakhretdinov his submission game is that threatening. But I do think that his wrestling can be smothering, and I think that you could just see a 3-round decision here. So I like round 3 or decision, or I like the actual prop for him by decision. For him by decision right now is minus 105. So pretty decent parlay piece if you want to throw that in there. But I wouldn't be too heavily invested because Rinat Fakhretdinov was in a close fight with Nicholas Dalby in his last fight. So I'm not going to go too heavy on this, but I am playing this for sure.
And D Rose, can we get a Chihuahuas if they hit the like button on this video?
Okay, yeah, I was saying we gotta. Yeah, I was gonna hit it, but hey, we gotta know that we gotta know that the likes are up. We gotta know that the likes are up, and I'll hit it for you.
All right, all right. So yeah, let me see what we're at right now. Let me see what we're at. Dude, I don't ever look at this live. I'm bad at looking at this live. I just go back and like look at us.
Well, there's a bunch of different things that we're also
Yeah.
taking into account as well,
We
as
got
well as us just also bullshitting.
we got 6 likes, 11 watchers. 8 likes now. Oh yeah, dude. That's plenty, dude. That's only 3 people not liked. I'll take it, dude. I'll take it. So all right, dude. Rose, there you go. Aw, shit. Aw, shit.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, D-Rose hit the chewies. All right. So we'll move on to the next fight, which is this fight's been shuffled around now. It is Ismail Nerdaev, whichever one it is, taking on D-Rose himself. When Bruno Silva, shaves his head bald, he kind of looks like our guy D Rose here, but he's grown his hair back out now. So
yeah, he done switched it up now, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you had it right there for a minute. Now he got a full fresh lineup. I mean, he got he looked like he got a nice one guard across the whole top, or the sides, and a 2 on the top. Like, yeah, he done switched sides completely now.
It looks like he maybe took a trip out to Turkey or some shit like that.
Yeah, he probably definitely had some hairs plucked off his butt and put on his head. But hey, if he got the funds to put it together, I ain't gonna hate.
Yeah. With that being said, Ismail Nerdaev, I have trouble saying that. I don't know which one it is. Minus 170, your favorite. Bruno Silva plus 142, the underdog. Over under on this one is 2.5. The over 2.5 plus 110. The under 2.5 minus 140. So it looks like people thinking this is going under, D-Rose. But once again, with these damn gloves, dude, I have a hard time picking anyone to get finished if they're not like a submission specialist, or they're not good at ground and pound, or like you're throwing head kicks or knees or some shit like that. So really don't know a lot about Ismail. He got cut from the UFC, hasn't looked great outside the UFC, and this is his first fight back, but Bruno hasn't looked great either, dude. I have a hard time really picking this fight, but gun to my head, give me Ismail Nerdaev to win this fight via decision. I have it 3 or decision in a few bets, but I also, if you are on the Bruno Silva side, I also don't hate his 3 or decision prop, because that is currently plus like 300, dude. Well worth it in my opinion. But Ismail Nerdaev via decision for me. How about you, D-Rose? Still going Bruno Silva?
Yeah, I'm still going to take the chance on the underdog Bruno Silva. I just think the level of competition that he's faced at this point, I think, is just a little bit higher. And to be fair, Bruno Silva didn't look too Bruno Silva didn't look bad in that Weidman fight until he started getting eye poked like crazy. Man, don't make me resurrect that. I can't do anything with Manel Cop right now. But I am going to stick with Bruno Silva here, and I mean, honestly, for me, just in terms of the money line, I love these kinds of bets because this is one that I will play straight up. I'll probably just put maybe 10, 12 bucks on it or something like that. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I am going to take Bruno Silva here, and the money line right now on FanDuel at plus 142. I think that's really good value. And Bruno Silva is a tough dude as well, so I could see this fight kind of going a little bit further. I know that under 2.5 was what you said, minus 140.
It's expected to go under, oddly enough, which is
I will say unders. for the fight to start round 3 right now is minus 126. So even if you expect it to maybe go later on, but not get to the bell, I mean, minus 126 for me to start the 3rd round. That's a perfect parlay piece there for me. So I like to try to keep it a little bit safe and as far as the round start
round 2. What's the start round 2 for that then?
To start round 2 is minus 310. So
minus 295 on DK. Not terrible. Solid parlay piece. If you're making a 6 leg or some shit like that, you're good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that to start round 3 at minus 126. So yeah, those are probably the 2 plays for me on this fight here.
All right, all right. So with that heads up, the Patty pick just moved. Don't say that. Is that shit gonna fall on me?
It does look like it came forward.
Dude, that shit's gonna fall on me and I'm gonna fucking be pissed again, dude.
Yeah, it does look like it came forward a little bit now that you said that. We both had some stuff end up on us before.
Fucking yeah, but that's dangerous. That's like glass.
Yeah, 100%.
Nah, I have my fan on, so it's probably like just blowing just enough air. Like, and I have it like leaned back, so it's probably just it's probably falling. That air is probably blowing it. But yeah, with that being said, D Rose, that was the second fight. So let's move on to the third. Where me and you still split on this one. I'm on Ismail, but not as hard as I was earlier in the week. So we'll move on to the next fight. Oh, crazy shit happened here, D Rose. What the actual fuck, man? I'm surprised Farid Basharat even took this fight, dude. So you can see the weights there. Farid Basharat at the top weighed in 137 this morning. Victor Hugo weighed 145.5. Like, he weighed a full fucking 10 pounds more. Like,
he literally weighed in for featherweight.
Exactly. So the fight got moved to featherweight, but Farid Basharat weighs 137. He's still weighed bantamweight, dude. So it's just like, what the fuck here, dude? Currently odds for this fight, man, minus 750 Farid Basharat, plus 525 Victor Hugo. Over under on this one is minus 245. I'm saying the over under on this one is 2.5. Over minus 245. The under is plus 185. I guess my thoughts don't really change too much on the fight. They kind of, I guess, lead more toward what I thought earlier in the week, and that's Farid Basharat 3-or decision. I thought if he maybe had a chance to finish Victor Hugo, but it would be by a submission or via submission. But him missing weight by damn 10 pounds, he's probably going to have a probably solid size advantage tomorrow, dude. And who knows what's really going on here, dude. Some shenanigans are happening, but I'm on Farid Basharat 3-or decision. But all the parlays that I made that I'm going to show you guys, I made last night. So I haven't made anything after weigh-ins because my thoughts were the same still. But after seeing this, dude, I'm not going to parlay up Farid Basharat 3-or decision in any of my future stuff for tomorrow, dude. But that is my pick, Farid Basharat 3-or decision. How about you, man?
Yeah, I think I was with you just in terms of the submission line until so I knew it was a catch weight because I saw the ceremonial weigh-ins and I did hear them announce it. So I didn't realize, so I didn't watch the weigh-ins before, did not realize it was to the extent that it was in terms of him missing weight that badly. Just absolutely crazy. But yeah, because I was really looking at Basharat by submission because it's at plus 290 on FanDuel right now. And I do think that there was something there, but I am with you there. That leads me to believe that Victor Hugo is going to have a bit of a size advantage. So it's probably not going to be as easy to kind of throw him around. Now I know a lot of the submissions are, technique over strength for the most part, but Victor Hugo, who's already a pretty good grappler and going to have the size advantage as well, I think that's going to aid in him being able to defend off submissions. So probably the play for me. I'm not going to play anything on this fight, but Farid Basharat by decision will probably be the play for me. It's at minus 130 on FanDuel right now. Again, me personally, I'm not playing anything on this fight, but that would be gun to my head. That would be my play.
Fair enough. We're on the same there. So we'll move on to the next fight where we have another huge 750 favorite dude in a fight that I cannot wait for. I am truly excited for this fight. This might be my featured fight of the night, dude. I'm so excited for this. Let's get into it. We've got the African Savage, Kennedy Nzechukwu, taking on I'm back, Beast Boy Chris Barnett, dude. He is so happy to be there, dude. And how can you not love this dude? His fat rolls literally look like a six pack. It makes no sense. On the other hand, if you look up top, dude, Kennedy is not a heavyweight, man. He don't really look like he don't really even look in shape, to be honest. Like, honestly, he's a big athletic dude, but it how much did he really train for this fight, man? So kind of has me worried, but kind of not really, because my pick earlier in the week was Barnett via knockout, dude. And on some crazy shit, I have a parlay with Barnett via knockout. It is plus 900, or at least it was last night. Currently, Barnett via knockout on DK is plus 1,000, dude. So even better, dude. I think it's possible. There's not a fucking chance in hell I put any money on Kennedy after fucking putting so much money on him, watching him live in fucking Nashville, and then getting snoozed in 4 seconds by fucking Dustin Jacoby. I know you said earlier in the week that you thought Kennedy was the more athletic guy, and I asked you, I've never seen Kennedy throw a spinning, flying heel kick like I have seen Chris Barnett do. So with that being said, my pick stays, dude. I think Chris Barnett hits him with something wild in the second round, and we see Chris Barnett do one of those fat front flips right in the middle of the Abu Dhabi Octagon, and those sheiks are out there fucking shaking it just like he is, dude. Chris Barnett, second round knockout. Are you riding with me? I'm just kidding. I know you're not riding with me.
I really want to, and I am going to be rooting for Chris Barnett, 100%, because again, it's Chris Barnett fight week. I saw a picture, and I'm actually meant to send it to you on Facebook the other day. It had a picture of Chris Barnett, and it had like a couple of quotes, and it was like I got Elia by knockout. I got Max by decision. I got Hamza by submission. It said, "Bro, I don't care. It's Chris Barnett fight week." Everybody knows this is the people's main event here with Chris Barnett. I'm 100% with you. I'm not betting anything Kennedy and Zechiku at all. He has burned bettors way too much. He had the one win against Carlos Oldberg, and I think people kind of rode his coattails after that. But he's really been up and down since that performance. I guess
About
for
his
me,
best thing he's done is knock out E1, but I mean,
yeah,
who doesn't at this point?
yeah, that and the Carlos Oldberg win. Those are the two really big wins you can say he had. But for me, I like this fight to start round 2 for right now is minus 180 on FanDuel. I do have that in a parlay. And for me, I do think Chris Barnett, I think there's a chance that this fight could end up at least going to round 3. So I know Kennedy and Zechu could be chinny at times, but I do think even if Chris Barnett does end up landing the knockout shot, it's going to take him a minute to kind of close that range and be able to find his distance. But I think there in the second round, just like he did to Jake Collier, ends up, he could potentially land a big shot and get him out of there then. But to start round 2 at minus 180, I really like that prop. So I'm playing that for this fight.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Beast Boy second round knockout. And it ain't for the pick champs, so you can root for him.
Bro, yeah, no, honestly, even if it had been for the pick champ, I'd still be rooting for him. 100%.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the next one, dude. We have the Hulk, Bruno Ferreira, taking on Abus Magomedov. I don't think he has a fight name, or at least I don't know if he does. Up top, Abus up there looking shredded. The Hulk, I guess I've seen him look a little bit better before, not gonna lie. But still up there looking good. Abus Magomedov has a huge height advantage here, but the Hulk is always the smaller guy in the octagon. What worries me here is looking at their Sultan Rizaboev fight. I think Bruno Ferreira can get clipped early, and Abus Magomedov starts like shot out of a cannon, dude. So if I believe this is one of the fights where there could be a finish either way here. But I truly think if this gets out of the first round, dude, there is a high chance that this goes to decision either fucking way. And I don't know where it's going. So I believe either fighter could win this fight in the first round. I believe either fighter could win this fight early in the second round. But we've never seen Bruno Ferreira over 7 minutes, and we know Abbas Magomedov looks like complete shit over 7 minutes. So what happens if Bruno also looks like shit over 7 minutes, and we just have a shit fight for the second half of the fight, and it goes to horrible split decision, dude? It wouldn't surprise me one bit with these fucking gloves and shit going on. But Abbas has a good front kick, so I'm thinking that's going to be the key factor. I'm going to Abbas, maybe first round front kick knockout. But as I said, if this gets out of the first round, this shit could go either way. I'm going Abbas. Yeah, Abbas Magomedov. That's all I'm saying. Which way you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, in terms of the method of victory, I'm not super confident in that either. Now, what do I think happens? I do think that Bruno Ferreira can knock out Abus, but I am with you in terms of this fight very well could get into a little bit of a slot fest there, in the remaining 9 or so minutes left in that fight, to where it could really get ugly. And we just don't know what we could see in those last 8-9 minutes of the fight. So for me, I still want to take Bruno Ferreira. I think money line right now, he's still the dog right now. So I still like that. Again, in terms of method of victory, I think Bruno Ferreira gets a knockout, but I'm a little too scared to play it. And the double chance by knockout or decision, those are always, to me, they're not much different than what the money line is. And if you end up getting some type of weird submission or whatever, then you end up losing the bet anyway. So for me, the money line is the way for me on Bruno Ferreira there at plus 124.
Yeah. All right. I didn't say odds for that anyway, so I appreciate it there, D-Rose. Current odds on DK, Abbas Magomedov minus 155, the favorite, and Bruno Ferreira, the dog, at plus 130. The over-under on this one is at 1.5, over 1.5, minus 110, under 1.5, minus 120, dude. This is like pretty much basically split even fight. And as far as over-under, too, everyone's like, no fucking idea. Yeah, dude. Maybe the fight to start round 2, but that is a butthole pucker for sure, dude.
Yeah. There's nothing else I would feel comfortable playing other than Bruno Ferreira money line. That's the only thing I could play on this fight, because they could go any variable ways.
Yeah, I agree, Randy Poppy. Lots of close fights on this card, which is why I think early, like in the week, I just didn't. Man, I was kind of scared to even bet anything on the fight, to be honest. And then I think Thursday Night Football happened, and then I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I get so lucky on football, dude.
Hey, ride that wave, dude. Ain't nothing wrong with
it. Yeah. So we'll move on to the next fight. Matus Rabisti Raumbetsky taking on Miktabik or
the best name in the game.
This is the other one, dude. That this fight was scheduled for 155 pounds, and then now Matus Raumbetsky this morning weighed 160, and Miktabik Orabai weighed 159 and some change. So it looks like this was moved to a catch weight of 160. I'm guessing on the side of Matus Raumbetsky there. But Miktabik looks to be the bigger guy. Can't really see him too much. He's got a flag and a hat on, so we can't really see how much bigger he is. But that is a cool hat, dude. And if we just pick fighters that has cool hats over the fighters that don't have cool hats, I believe the cool hats win, and at a solid 95% of the time. And as you see, Matus Raumbetsky does not have a cool hat, as where Miktabik does have a cool hat. So it's not just because of that that I'm picking Miktabik Orabai to win. It's because of Matus Raumbetsky's last fight. And you can be called MMA math if you want, but I think Diego Ferreira is one of the most overrated fighters that have, I think, ever been in the UFC. And what happened in that last fight, I am off the Matus Raumbetsky train. If he can't finish you in that first round, he got no chance of winning. And in that being said, they thawed Miktabik Orbai. They thawed Miktabik Orbai out of the ice to come fight Mateusz Raumbesky in this fight, because he is multiple thousands years old and, you know, immortal, and you can't knock him out or submit him. So at some point, Raumbesky going to gas, Miktabik going to take over. I like Miktabik round 3 or decision here. D-Rose, how about you?
Yeah, I like Miktabik coming in from the time chamber, kind of coming in, being summoned into the fight here. You know, just the ageless wonder, Miktabik Orbai, with him and yeah, I was going to say Miktabik and Macy Barber having a close relation there with the similar asset there. But no, I do think for this fight, you're a little harsh on Diego Ferreira, because it's funny that a lot of times you end up picking against him. He like just so profoundly proves you wrong, like with the Michael Johnson win and then the Mateusz Rebecki win.
But it's like the Michael Johnson win. It's like, dude, that can happen with anyone, you know? And we say that all the time. Like, he might knock out Alex Pereira and then fucking get knocked out by fucking Matt Schnell. It makes no goddamn sense, but that's Michael Johnson.
Yeah, no, it 100% is. Man, funny enough, I may be influencing these lines, because right now the Bruno Ferreira and Abus Magomedov line is actually locked right now on FanDuel. There's no movement
on DK. It's not locked.
Yeah, it's locked. It's locked on FanDuel.
It's probably getting better odds, because on DK -155, Abus +130 Bruno. So it's probably going to change to that here in a second.
Yeah, that is crazy. He's that high of a favorite on there. But yeah, I think Miktabik by decision will likely be the way to go. But
you got to put that 3-year decision in there, dude, in case Rebecki gasses, dude.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly going to be my point. I think I could play by decision at +150. I could maybe throw a little change at to play it straight. But if I'm playing like, you know, any type of big money or anything like that, I am going to do the round 3 or by decision, just because we've seen Miktabik gas before. So yeah, or not Miktabik, but Mateusz Rebecki. We've seen him gas before in his last fight. But give me yeah, +105. Yeah, that's pretty good odds for Miktabik or by round 3 or decision. So let me play that.
I'll take it. Me and D-Rose on Miktabik. The last first upright or by. Moving on, we've got Jeff Hands of Steel Neal taking on Rafael Dos Anjos, or RDA Rafael Dos Anjos. Dude, it's so hard because it's RDA. I've heard him being called Rafael. I know he's Brazilian, so I know it's Rafael. I don't know what to call him. It's RDA. Rafi Dos Nachos, if you ask Colby Covington.
I was gonna say that's your favorite. That's your favorite name for him. Out of any, that's definitely your favorite.
I don't know why that cracks me up so much. Anyway, Jeff Neal up top there, -310, your favorite. Rafael Dos Anjos +250, the underdog. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. The over 2.5 -210, the under 2.5 +160. Oh, that's on DK. But yeah, this is one of the fights where if finishes are possible still, this might be one of the fights that we get a finish at, just because, man, Jeff Neal, so damn good, hits so hard, dude, has no trouble knocking people out. And for RDA to win, he needs to get this fight to the ground. And he had most of his success in takedowns and shit down at 155. And this is up at 170. And you pointed this out Wednesday. You know, Shavkat was struggling to get Jeff Neal down. So I don't see RDA doing it with ease by any means. So I got Jeff Neal to box up RDA. Could be a knockout on the Jeff Neal side, but if so, I got Jeff Neal KO 2 or 3. But in most of my parlays, I got Jeff Neal 3 or decision. So Jeff Neal 3 or decision is the play for me, D-Rose. How about you?
Yeah, I think for this one, you know, as you noted that I pointed out on Wednesday, with Jeff Neal's takedown defense. You know, his takedown defense is absolutely lights out. So I'm not betting on RDA to be able to take him down here. Jeff Neal, the one thing that he can struggle with is kind of starting. He can start a little bit slow from time to time. So that's one thing that you can criticize him about. And sometimes, like, you can look back at the Neil Magny fight, and there were times where it just almost looked like he just wasn't exactly engaged. So you're kind of wondering what's going on there. But if he's all locked in and everything, I do think that, you know, obviously the cleaner boxer of the two, the better athlete. He's got really good footwork, and he's bigger than RDA too. Now, I will give RDA credit just for his chin, especially up at 170. Now, he has been knocked out at 155 a couple times, but even for the heavy hitter that he's fought at 170, has not been finished at 170 at all. So I do think that streak can continue here. But I do think Jeff Neal ends up winning. Like you said, I think Jeff Neal just basically boxes him up for 3 rounds. My decision for Jeff Neal is at plus 110 on FanDuel right now. I like the decision play because, again, I do think that I could see if Jeff Neal's at a position to where he's kind of cruising in the second, third round. He's not really going to press much more than what he needs to. I could definitely see him just coasting for a win if he's kind of 2 rounds of nothing. So yeah, give me Jeff Neal by decision here at plus 110.
All right, fair enough. That 3-year decision is minus 115 though. I just want to throw that out there.
Still a good play too, because I got that in a parlay. So
yeah. We'll move on to the next fight. That is Ibo Aslan taking on Rafael Quinceañera. I know that's not how you say it. Quinceañera. I don't know how to say this. Rafael is his name.
Yeah.
Is he a fighting nerd, dude? Because on the right there, he's got some black glasses on. I don't think he's a fighting nerd, but, you know, I've been proven wrong before. I don't really like this fight too much, and dude, trying to find any of this dude's fights, this Brazilian dude on the right and the bottom there, I was able to find one fight, dude, and that was it. And he was fighting this dude that was real fat. And yeah, it's just like, okay, well, if that's who you're fighting, of course you're going to beat him, dude. Apparently this dude trains with Jelton Almeida, though. You know, good look, but I guess the glasses kind of throw me off if he's maybe training with the fighting nerds now, or maybe he just wears glasses. But Ibo Aslan, you know, looked good against Anton Terkali, the Pleasure Man, in his rematch against him in his first fight in the UFC. Knocked him out in the 3rd round. But this is a pretty much low level. Is this middleweight, light heavyweight fight? I don't feel strongly either way, but I am going to stick with my pick that I was earlier in the week with Ibo Aslan. Yeah, and for this fight to go to decision is actually, I think it might be plus money for it to even go to decision, or maybe the over-under. The over-under on this one set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 115, the under 1.5 minus 115. So split down the middle. Ibo Aslan currently the underdog at plus 100. Rafael is minus 120. I mean, what are the fight props for this? I like the 3-year decision. I wouldn't mind the 3-year decision either way. If you are on either side here, Ibo Aslan 3-year decision plus 380, and Rafael 3-year decision is plus 330, dude. So once again, low level middleweights. Could this go over? Absolutely. I am on Ibo Aslan 3-year decision for me. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think in terms of picking the winner, I picked Rafael, but I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm
He's the favorite
confident.
now. He was the dog earlier in the week, I think.
Well, and I think after the face-off and everything too, I mean, he's significantly bigger than Ibo Aslan for sure. And dude, I'm just being honest. Watching Ibo Aslan in his last fight against the Pleasure Man, dude, I wasn't that impressed with him in his last fight. Yeah. You know, because I think he was a pretty decent favorite going into that fight, even though Anton Terkali had beat him before. So yeah, I wasn't super impressed with him. Not to say that I know a lot about Rafael, but and basically, which leads me to say that I think to start round 2, another one for me to start round 2 minus 180 right now. So I think that's a pretty good parlay piece. Especially I know as you're kind of leaning towards more, this fight could go round 3 or decision here. I could see because Ibo Aslan, that's one thing I will say. He does start fast and he does try to get the finish. So I could see a situation where he could maybe get the finish in the second round, or he ends up just gassing at the end of the second round and ends up getting finished himself. But I could see this fight not going to decision, but I'll keep it a little safe here and do to start round 2 at minus 180.
Fair enough. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So let's move on to the next fight. That is, a lot of people is excited for this one. Share a bullet, Magomedov taking on Armin Superman Petrosian. Share a bullet up top there, and on the left hand, Armin Petrosian on the bottom and on the right. Currently odds for this fight, minus 180, Share a bullet Magomedov, and plus 150, Armin Petrosian. Over under on this one is 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 280. Under 2.5 plus 210. Yeah, this is one where D Rose. I don't think I've ever picked Share a bullet in a fight. Maybe one, but I don't think he's the greatest fighter. And if he's going to fight someone that's going to take him down, I think he's going to lose that fight. But this is not that fight. Armin Petrosian is basically the same guy, but if you ask me who the better striker is, I have to go Share a bullet, and he's even a fantastic striker moving backwards. I expect this to be just a fun kickboxing battle, dude, and Share a bullet to outpoint him. Give me Share a bullet to win this fight via decision, but I also don't hate 3 or decision here. How about you, man?
Yeah, I think I'm with. So, am I picking bullet? Yes, I've picked him in a couple fights before, but in terms of the height that has came in for him, that's one thing that I just had not been able to kind of get with, because I remember seeing him in all these like Reddit groups and stuff like that, and like all these edited pictures of him being like completely jacked and on steroids and all this stuff. And I remember, again, I know I mentioned it before, when people said he was supposed to fight Derek Brunson coming into the UFC. And people are like, man, he's going to kill Derek Brunson. Let's just be honest, man. With his wrestling defense being as boo-boo as it is, there's a very good chance Derek Brunson probably could have lay and prayed on him or ground and pounded Bullet and gotten him out of there. So that would have actually been a terrible matchup for Bullet coming in. But I will say that he's a fun striker. He really goes for it. And I don't think Armin Petrosian is going to go for the takedown by any means. Doesn't really seem to be his MO. He is going in there to strike for the most part. Bullet, for him to be minus 176 right now, I think that's actually a pretty advantageous line itself. I don't think he's going to finish Armin. So I will say Shara by decision at plus 130. That's a really good play for me right now. So I would like that. The decision prop minus 240. So even if you feel like Armin Petrosian could maybe wrestle him for 3 rounds or whatever, minus 240 is a good little parlay piece for me for the fight to go to decision. I don't think there's going to be a finish either way, but I think it could be a pretty fun technical striking battle. But let me take Shara by decision.
Looks like we're on the same page there. So we'll move on to the next fight, being Lerone, the Miracle Murphy, taking on Dan 50K Ige. Yeah, this is one where I don't really feel any different about the fight. I think Lerone Murphy takes him down enough, controls him enough, just does enough to win every single round. I don't think there's a finish either way here. But I guess I've just seen Lerone Murphy, looked pretty solid against Edson Barboza. And I would have to pick Edson to probably beat, Dan Ige. Not trying to do MMA math here, but I just think there's a certain level when it comes to the takedown defense and the takedowns coming from the other way here. So I am picking Lerone Murphy 3 or decision, but this is one where, man, could this look something like last week when we get Kyler Phillips versus Rob Font? It maybe, dude. It could, and it wouldn't surprise me too much, to be honest. And I do have a little fade myself parlay cooked up that I will show you guys that does have Dan Ige to win 3 or decision in it. But my official pick for this fight is Lerone Murphy to win via decision. How about you, D Rose?
Yeah, this fight is it's a good fight. But again, we talked about it before. Just wish that the UFC could have done Danny Gay maybe a few more favors than giving him a matchup with Lerone Murphy here. But I do think it can be a fun fight, and I think it could be a little bit of it might be like a little bit of a technical striking battle to a certain extent. But even Lerone Murphy's fight with Edson Barboza was like that to a certain extent. His last fight, and that actually ended up being pretty fun. And Danny Ige, if you don't actually remember, has beaten Edson Barboza before. Now, I thought Edson Barboza won that fight, but Danny Ige does have a win over Edson Barboza as well, just as far as I know you made that comment earlier, but I will say I do think Lerone Murphy ends up getting the job done. I just think that he's just got a few more weapons, just a little bit more versatile in terms of the kicks and punches, being able to mix it all together. And I don't think Danny Gay is going to really be able to use his wrestling. Now, if Danny Gay comes in and tries to use a very heavy wrestling style, I do think that could be pretty interesting because I don't know if really anyone's attacked Lerone Murphy with that type of style just yet. But let's go Lerone Murphy by decision. It's minus 160. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna play this fight in a lot of stuff because I wouldn't be surprised if Danny Gay ended up going in there and getting the win. So I'll be honest, I'm not gonna play much on this fight, but gun in my head, Lerone Murphy by decision at minus 160 is what I'm playing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm taking your job, struggling. Keep my eyes open, D-Rose. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, me and you are both on Lerone Murphy via decision. We'll move on to the next fight, being Magomed Ankalaev taking on Alexander Rocket Rakic. Dude, I know you're stoked for this one. Currently, odds for this fight minus 380 for Magomed Ankalaev and plus 300 for Alexander Rakic. The over under is set at 2.5. The over 2.5 minus 215. The under 2.5 plus 165. Yeah, dude, I don't feel any different about this shit. Magomed Ankalaev going to take Alexander Rakic down probably all 3 rounds. I just not saw you. Probably all 3 rounds, dude, and it's about to be a fucking shit show. But I've never in my life, rooted for Alexander Rakic, but this will be the one fight, dude, that I will be, I don't see the point in it, but I will be cheering for Alexander Rakic to win. But my official pick for the play is going to be Magomed Ankalaev to win this fight via decision. Which way you going, man?
You say something? This boring ass fight, man. Ain't nobody talking about this shit. Maybe I'm giving him a little bit too hard of a time because I know people have said like, oh well, Magomed, he doesn't even really wrestle like that, and blah blah blah, and yeah, but the thing is, he's fumbled a bunch of opportunities that the UFC has given him. So it's like they try to get him to bounce back on the Abu Dhabi card against Johnny Walker, and then he has the
illegal knee.
The illegal knee. And then he has the Yan fight where he's given the undisputed title shot.
He lost the first 3 rounds. I don't care what anyone
He
says.
1000% lost that fight. I don't know how they came up with a draw in that fight at all because he lost that fight because he didn't know how to check a leg kick.
He still doesn't. He still doesn't.
Yan chopped his legs alive. So for me, if I'm being 100% honest about this fight, I think Alexander Rakic being a plus 300 underdog, like I give him so much shit for being so much of a boring fighter. Well, dude, watching them face off, Rakic might be bigger. Like, dude, Rakic is freaking huge, man. I did not realize he was that big of a dude. And we know that, Magomed's pretty big too. But, dude, Rakic is an absolute animal just in terms of his size. Plus 300 for me, man. I think that's way too big of an underdog right now. I know he's got 2 losses in a row, but let's be fair. It's against Yuri and it was against Yan, where you can make the argument that he was having some success in that fight before he ended up having the knee injury. So Rakic has fought the best of the best in the division as well. Yeah, plus 300 for me. I think for me, I could sprinkle a little something straight money line on that. just because the value alone. Because I will say, as annoying as Alexander Rakic is to me, there is some value there because I will say he's fought some very tough competition and handled himself well amongst that competition.
I wish I could bet this fight to go to no contest.
I wish I could that would be dude. Hey, what would the draw prop be? I mean, that would be
the draw prop
we
right now. Draw prop Rakic versus dude. It's kind of, oh no, just a split decision kind of ass. The draw though, come on.
I mean that would be something that I could see being played just because.
Draws,
dude, look
plus,
how many
plus 5,000. It's what it always is. It's always plus 5,000.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So that's usually.
But for the fight to go to split decision, dude, the props kind of ass, dude. Like it's usually like a little bit better than what it is, but plus 400. But I mean, they're in Abu Dhabi, dude. I mean, it goes to decision. They're going to give it to Ankalaev.
Yeah.
All right. Me and so you're on Rakic via decision, and I'm on Ankalaev via decision.
My fight pick is Magomed, but in terms of what would I bet, where's the value? Because I'm not, I just don't see much value in that. Plus 300, that's way too big of a dog.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the co-main event of the evening. We've got, or the morning, I guess. We've got Robert the Reaper Whittaker taking on Khamzat Boars Chimaev. Fun fight, dude. We've been waiting on this one to happen. We didn't know if it was going to happen, but Khamzat made weight. That's the only thing we were really worried about. Khamzat currently minus 225, the favorite. Robert Whittaker plus 185, the underdog. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 120. The under 2.5 minus 110. This is set for 5 rounds, man. I don't think it gets there, but I mean, who knows, man? This is one of the fights where I think there's a finish here. I think there's a finish here, one way or the other. I think there's a finish. But I don't think Khamzat's going 5 either way, man. Whether he finishes Rob earlier or he gets finished a little bit later on in the fight, I don't think this goes 5. But my pick stays the same, man. I'm going Khamzat to submit Robert Whittaker in the second round. I just think Khamzat's too big, too aggressive, too powerful, too strong. I think Khamzat via round 2 submission. Which way you going, man?
This is one that again I love the matchup, and I'm 100% love that they kept it at 5 rounds because I am with Dave down here. Hey, don't count Khamzat in yet because hey, there is not a chance that or there's not a 100% chance even if they have faced off that Khamzat's gonna make it because I wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of fight day, something that happened that here's some bullshit that he got food poisoning and now he's been shitting his brains out and he's shitting blood and now we gotta cancel the fight or there's gonna be something stupid that ends up happening. But just in terms of the fight, I do love the fight itself. This is really, you can say, the real test for Khamzat, 5-round fight against, while he has fought Usman, guys like that, you can say he had the size advantage against Burns, and Usman, he had the camp advantage because Usman literally came in there on 10 days notice. So for me, I still got to go Robert Whittaker here. Robert Whittaker, that the money line for me, I still am going to stick with him. So I think that money line, is juicy enough to take, plus 245 right now. So I believe that is or plus 200 on FanDuel. I'm sorry. So plus 200 on FanDuel,
plus 185 on DK.
Yeah, and then for me too, I do think so. The biggest thing for Khamzat, he starts so fast. He comes in like a bat out of hell, straight to you to get the action going. I do think that Robert Whittaker is going to have to weather an early storm. So I think, I could see it going past, that kind of 3rd, 4th round mark. I think Robert Whittaker, you could do an alternate round betting. Robert Whittaker by rounds 4, 5, or by decision. So all the rounds 4 and 5 a finish or by decision at plus 410 right now on FanDuel is a very good prop. I do have that, and just like a little small kind of crazy parlay prop or prop parlay. But yeah, I do think that that plus 410 is juicy for that. But Robert Whittaker plus 200 money line, man, got to take advantage of that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we'll move on to the main event of the evening. If y'all haven't already, please do you boys a favor and hit that thumbs up button. D Rose hit a chee wee wees earlier in the show. If you guys missed it, it was fantastic. So main event time, we got Max Blessed Holloway taking on the champion Ilya El Matador Topuria, dude. Man, Ilya's short, huh?
Yeah. I mean, dude, Max is just a big dude in general.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. Like Max sized up like that against Volk as well. He's just a big dude.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like that.
But very quiet during the face-offs, though. That was surprising me because Ilya had been bumping his gums, and I know Max been talking during the build-up, but Max is pretty quiet kind of the whole week, and especially the last few interactions they've had.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is like that's not something that we didn't know. We knew Max was gonna be the taller, longer guy. Ilya is gonna be the shorter guy, but two different striking styles here. But Ilya's got a lot of grappling in his back pocket that we have yet to really see in the UFC outside of like the Ryan Hall fight. That was fucking hilarious. But yeah, dude. I just think I said it earlier in the week. The way featherweight works in my eyes is it comes in like waves for years at a time. We had Jose Aldo for years. We had Max for years. We've recently had Volk for years. I believe it's now Ilya's time, man. And Max never been knocked out, but I've seen him get at least cracked a little now. It maybe wasn't up at 155. Coming back down to 145, man. I don't know. I just don't know, man. Maybe this might be the recipe that Ilya needs to, knock out another challenger. I could see it happening, dude. It wouldn't. I know Max never been knocked out, but it wouldn't surprise me, dude. And that's the way I'm going, dude. I am going to go Ilya Topuria second round knockout, dude. I think he hits too hard, man. I just he's just different. I don't know, man. I could be wrong, and it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, and it sure as fuck won't be the last time I'm wrong. But give me Ilya second round knockout. How about you, brother?
Yeah, man. I think as I said, this is the fight that I've been looking forward to the most all year. Been waiting for this fight, and I'm going to make sure in somehow, some way, like I can't miss it live. A couple of years ago, when this is 2020 now, but when Justin Gaethje and Khabib fought each other, I was really excited about that fight. So I ordered the pay-per-view, and I had to work that day, and I was able to put my phone down, stay away from all social media. There were people who I worked with that were watching the fight, and I ran away from them and begged them to not tell me anything. And they spared me. And I was able to get home and watch the fights without being interrupted and was able to get the full experience. But I just don't, me knowing that the fight had already happened, there's just no way I could sit back and want to go back and watch the fight. So yeah, dude, I'm just going. I have to watch this fight live. So I'm going to make sure, and somehow, some way, I'm going to be able to do that. But man, such a fun fight. I still think where it comes down to me, I still got Max here. I do think that I think Ilya's chin is super tough. But one thing, and I know you had mentioned it, man, there are even clips where you go back into Ilya's fights on the regional scene. Man, he gets tore up by some head kicks, dude. He got hit with a head kick in a couple regional fights. Of course, we know the Jai Herbert instance. Now, I will say he did a very good job at blocking head kicks against Volkanovski in his last fight. He did a really good job with that. But we know that Volkanovski, in terms of his striking, head kicks aren't really his thing. And we have seen I need to get him pushing. But hey, we saw Max in the second Volkanovski fight land a couple head kicks himself, even dropping Volkanovski with a head kick in that fight as well. So I do think, I said it Wednesday, I'll say it again, I do think kicks are going to be a big weapon that Max is going to have to use here if he's going to want to be able to pull off the win. I do think that it ends up being by decision. I got Max Holloway money line and plus 215. I mean, you're talking one of the greatest fighters of all time, and you can make the argument that he is still in his prime as one of the greatest of all time. He might be on the latter end of that prime, but 100% still in his prime in terms of still having all the power, still having all the speed. And honestly, I think even after that third Volkanovski loss, dude, he's gotten better. Because look at the KO wins that he had. Now, Zombie fought very dumb and ran at him with his chin up and got knocked out. And then Justin Gaethje basically did the same thing there with the last 10 seconds. But Max is really, able to step up his game each time. And I think Ilya is going to get the best of Max here. So give me Max by decision. Plus 215 on that money line is extra juicy. But, dude, Max Holloway by decision straight up is plus 470 on FanDuel right now. How could you not throw $5 at it just to say, like, hey, it is Max Holloway at the end of the day? But I can 100% understand why the betting public is on Ilya. Ilya is an absolute train right now, and just a dude who's tough to handle. But I like the momentum that Max is coming in with here.
Fair enough. There you have it. That is all of our picks, prelims to main event. So let's get into the fun part. The change to the cheddar, the bets and the parlays. So how it's working over here today, I have a $10, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a $10 parlay and 4 $5 parlays. So that's a total of $30 total. And D Rose sent me one, and his is a $10 parlay. Correct, D Rose?
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, let's get this banner off the screen. And let's have some fun. So my most confident picks, my 6-leg for $10. My most confident this week is a 6-leg parlay, $10 to win $214. It's Renat Fakhretdinov moneyline, Farid Basharat 3 or decision, Miktabik Orabai 3 or decision, Jeff Neal moneyline, Shar Bullet 3 or decision, and Lerone Murphy 3 or decision. You like it, D-Rose?
Yeah, man, I do like it. And shoot, 10 for 214. I mean, that's that's really good value. So yeah, no, I like it a lot, man.
All right, so we'll move on to the next one. It's a two-leg. This is one where it's like, dude, if this shit goes past the first round, some wild shit might happen here. This is a 2-leg, $5 to win $101. It's Ibo Aslan 3 or decision and Abus Magomedov 3 or decision. $5 to win 101 there. But those truly, if they go past the first round, those could go either way, and it wouldn't surprise me. So $5 to win 100 there on the 2-leg. We've got this is where we start getting a little crazy. So those were just two that my most confident, and then this is what could happen. Now let's get a little bit crazy. This is Chris Barnett this is a 4-leg, $5 to win 676. Chris Barnett via knockout. Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira to go under a round and a half because I do believe either one of they're trying to hide himself.
Got something in my eye, man. It's killing me right now.
I do believe that either fighter could finish the other one in the first round there. And then this is one of the finishes that I do think could happen. This Jeff Neal KO 2 or 3 at plus 480. Don't hate that. And then I have Robert Whitaker versus Hamzat Chimaev to not go the distance for that. So are we going to hit it? I think if we hit that first leg, we're going to be on some shit. Not going to lie. So once we hit that first leg, then we'll be on. So,
that's when the heart starts skipping a couple beats passer.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the biggest one this week, I said I don't trust a lot of finishes, but the finishes that I do think happen are right here. Jeff Neal, KO 2 or 3. Hamzat Chimaev sub 1 or 2, and Ilya Topuria KO 2 or 3. $5 on that one. Wins back 1,093. So, not too crazy, but it is what it is. And I told you guys earlier in the show, I have one where I kind of like fade myself because there are 3 fights that I truly think could go either way. And the odds for some of them to win via decision were too juicy not to just throw a few of them in there and see what happens. So they're not my official picks for what's going to happen for the fights, but I did throw a 3-leg in there, 3 or decision. Bruno Silva, 3 or decision. Bruno Ferreira, 3 or decision. And Dan Ige, 3 or decision. $5 on that one. Wins back 607. But I did pick Ismail Nurdaev to win by decision. I did pick Abus Magomedov to win 3 or decision. Or maybe, well, I guess first round knockout, but if it goes past the first, who the fuck knows? And then Dan Ige 3 or decision in case it looks something like the Kyler Phillips versus Rob Font last week. So those are my parlays for the day. And then so I will pass it to D Rose back there picking his those. So I will pass it to I'll pass it to D Rose and I'll let him break down his parlay for the day.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here, but just a little $10 bet. So again, I know I told you guys that I was gonna play that Fakardinov, not too heavy, but this is one of them I'm playing it in. So Renat Fakardinov round 3 or by decision, little 4-leg here. Kennedy and Nzechukwu and Chris Barnett to start round 2 at -180. Bruno Ferreira money line at +124, and Jeff Neal by round 3 or by decision at -120. And that gives you odds of +1012. So plus 1,012 there. And $10 will, and I use the bonus bet on this one, but when you 101. So
it'll win back 110 if you don't use a bonus.
Yes. But yeah, I'm using the bonus bet here. So my winning is 101. But yeah, we will definitely take that. So I like the
Hey, where's our fucking boost at?
They usually don't send them to me until Saturday morning. So I'm going
Gotcha.
to assume that it'll probably be in there by Saturday morning.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So hopefully we get a boost. FanDuel right now, I don't see any boost. Let's see if I got one on DK yet. That's a 100% NBA boost. I will opt into that one though because I'm a degenerate. UFC all parlay boost. Here we go. Opt in. So right now, DK's is 33% boost. So I'll probably make one on DK after the show tonight, but I'll try to post it up on my Instagram. But I got to reload my DK because I ain't got shit in there. I just got money in my FanDuel thanks to NFL this past week. But yeah, D Rose, good luck on your parlay, dude. Do you want to go over the picks one last time before we get out of here?
Yeah. Just
all right, let's go.
A little refresher.
Pick for me is for the first fight of the night is Renat Fakardinov via decision. How about you, D Rose?
Same. Renat Fakardinov by decision.
All right. Next fight of the night is I forgot this fucking dude's name.
Yeah, I did too. I'm not gonna lie.
Ismail Nurdaev taking on Bruno Silva. I am on Ismail Nurdaev 3 or decision, but I don't feel great about it. How about you, Dearest?
Yeah, I don't feel great about it either, and I'm going Bruno Silva. So I'm going to stick with Bruno Silva by decision.
All right. Then we got Farid Basharat taking on Victor Hugo. In this fucking mess that happened, I am sticking Farid Basharat 3 or decision, but yeah, probably not going to be including that after that fucking weight shenanigans happened. Which way are you on, D-Rose?
Yeah, that's a tricky one there. Let's say let's do a double chance by submission or decision for Basharat, because I still think there's a chance by submission, but am I going to actually play it? Hell no.
All right, next fight, Chris Barnett, Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I am on my guy, Chris Barnett, round 2 knockout. How about you, D-Rose?
We will stick with Kennedy and Nzechukwu by decision. Am I betting it? No, but we will stick with Kennedy by decision.
All right, next fight, Abus Magomedov, Bruno Ferreira. I am sticking Abusmagomedov. Let's go first round knockout. But as I said, if it goes past the first, who the fuck knows who's winning this fight?
Yes. Yes, I am agreeing with you there on the ladder. But let's go Bruno Ferreira by knockout.
All right. Miktabik Orabai taking on Matus Raumbetsky. Miktabik 3 or decision for me.
Same. Make the big 3 decision.
All right. Jeff Neal, RDA, dude. I'm on Jeff Neal. KO 2 or 3 or Jeff Neal 3 or decision. But I like Jeff Neal to win this fight.
Yeah, Jeff Neal by decision for me.
All right. Next one. I forgot these fucking guys. We got Ibo Aslan and Rafael. Not even try his last name this time. But Ibo Aslan's 3 or decision for me here.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Rafael here. I guess round 3 decision, but let's stick with Rafael here.
All right, this one right here. Cheryl Bullet versus Armin Petrosian. I'm on Cheryl Bullet 3 or decision.
Bullet by decision.
All right. Lerone Murphy, Dan Ige. I'm on Lerone Murphy 3 or decision.
Yep. Lerone Murphy by decision.
All right. Rocket versus Alexander Rakic here. I am on Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. I'm on Ankalaev 3 or decision. Probably be a decision, but I know you have a different lean-wise betting.
Yeah. In terms of who do I think is going to win the fight, I still think Magomed is going to win the fight, but I just think in terms of where the value's at, I think Alexander Rakic for being a top contender to be a plus 300 underdog right now. I think that's pretty heavy line to just throw up for Magomed, while Alexander Rakic has had a very tough schedule of fights and has fared himself well. So betting wise, I'm actually leaning towards Rakic. But who do I think is going to win? I do think at the end of the day, Ankalaev does get it done by decision.
All right. Co-main event, Robert Whitaker, Khamzat Chimaev. I am on Khamzat Chimaev. Let's go round 2 submission.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Whitaker. Late finish. Let's go late knockout.
All right. And the main event, Ilya Topuria versus Max Blessed Holloway. I am on El Matador round 2 knockout.
I'm still sticking with Max here by decision.
All right. And one last time, my most confident parlay, my 2-leg. Shit gets a little crazy. Fun stuff can happen. The only finishes that I think really happen on the card, the fade myself parlay, if shit goes past the first round, who knows for those first 2. And, Dan Ige could win. And D Rose's $10 bonus bet parlay, $10 to win 100 there. So that's everything, you guys. That is the show. Picks all the way through prelims, main event. Me and D Rose gave you bets, our parlays, what we would bet, what we wouldn't bet. So if you are betting on this card, good luck. Do not bet more than you can afford to lose, obviously, because at the end of the day, this is a fist fight and anything can happen. So keep that in mind. If you're out there betting hundreds and thousands on fist fights, they're fist fights. Someone can get knocked out with one of these. We see it every week, dude. We see it. We think no finishes are going to happen, and then before you know it, fucking someone's knocked out cold, dude. It makes no sense, but it is what it is. Good luck to everyone betting your hard-earned money this weekend. Stay safe out there, y'all, and remember, these fights are in exactly 11 hours, or a little bit less than 11 hours from now, so go get some rest, wake up in the morning, get some breakfast, some coffee, and watch some fights. D-Rose, anything before we get out of here, man?
No, man. Good. Of course, awesome slate of fights tomorrow. Dave, I like the comment. Tell Matt to go get some sleep. But yeah, man. Let's make some money tomorrow, boys.
Hell yeah. With that being said, we appreciate every single one of you for stopping by, hanging out with us here tonight. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Me and D-Rose are here every single Wednesday, and I am here every single fight week Friday, giving my bets, and D-Rose is here on the pay-per-view. So with that being said, thank you all very much for all the support, and we will catch you guys next week for the podcast. So with that being said, stay safe out there and good luck on all your bets tomorrow, D Rose. I'm not going to end it until you do your thing this time. So with that being said, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.